intentional on how I actually want to live my life. I've been doing a lot of reflecting and remembering who I am and who I always been. Even looking back to when I was like 9 years old, and even as a teenager, like I had to pick up on the patterns and the things that I know was true to myself and that I still tend to have in me now. Hey everybody, it's Aniqua, and today I want to talk about, today I'm going to discuss adjusting my schedule from my 9 to 5 to building my business. So basically, usually I write my to-do list the day before, like when I'm off. I usually write my to-do list when I'm off, but like the day before I'm off. But sometimes like it just get hectic and I don't have time to. So what I do first is I write it down in my small notebook, and then I use Flow Savvy app to write everything down. This is a good productivity app. The fact that, you know, I usually write it the day before or like days before. So speaking of that, like that's basically the point of this video. What I want to talk about is the challenge of adjusting myself from my 9 to 5 to being at home, because my schedule, I work 4 days and I'm off 4 days. More like sometimes it kind of switch up, but for the most part I have a 4-day week schedule, so I have plenty of time to do other things. This week or last week, my schedule was so inconsistent. I basically had like 2 days off and then 1 day off or something like that. It was crazy. So basically I lost my flow, and yesterday when I got off of work, so basically the day like 2 days before I was off, but I had no energy to do anything. So all I can do is just relax and prepare myself for work. So yesterday when I got off, I was so exhausted I couldn't really prepare myself for today, even though I knew in my head, I took mental notes to know what I was going to be doing on my following days off. So this morning I wrote down basically my plans, the tasks that I need to do, and then so the point is, I want to discuss the challenges of building a business from scratch solo while working a 9 to 5. Technically I work more than 40 hours a week, so 9 to 5 to me is just, you know, it kind of don't make sense. But basically it's like, for the people that, like, when you know your talent and purpose and when you want to work towards perfecting it, you realize how much these systems that we typically work under, we realize how much it hinders us. Like, this is for the people that are like really know their talent and their skills and like their gifts. When you want to start like actually working towards that, like, and allowing that, like taking faith, because here's the thing, like, it's one thing to like have a gift and your purpose. For example, like your gift might be you can make people laugh, but you can do anything, you can make people laugh anywhere. But when your like gift is like, and you can have more than one, but I'm saying, but for somebody that like wants to draw and they want to like take their art to the next level and start growing and make it a business. It's like when you work a job and you work on all these hours and then you got responsibilities, it's like by the time you settle down and make time to focus on that, you don't have the energy. You don't, even if you got ideas, you your mind is so exhausted at the end of the day or in the beginning of the day, whatever it may be, when you have time to try and focus on yourself, you exhausted. So it's like the systems that we typically work under, like you getting up in the morning, you getting yourself ready for this job or school that you're going to for 8 hours a day, and then you got other people that you have to take care of, or you know, you're commuting and that's taking up like 2 hours of your day, and then you gotta eat and cook and all these things, like all of that take a lot of work. And by the time you get to sit down and work on what you truly want to work on, it's like, well, you start, and this is how writers block and stuff like when you tend to feel stagnant in what you create and you get discouraged, you feel like you don't have the talent anymore, you feel like you don't want to do it, or even because you're not doing it, you become depressed, and but you steady repeating the cycle over and over. So it's like what I'm working on is spending more time doing the things that I actually want to do, focusing on my actual you know, my craft, focusing on my craft and actually building, focusing on that, making time for it. Of course it's hard, like I'm so like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful to have the work schedule that I do have, because this is not a normal schedule. It's not normal, but it gives me a lot of time to focus on, you know, it's a good work-life balance, even though it's very exhausting. The job is very exhausting, but it still gives me a good work-life balance. And just thinking about like the days that I do work, like it's making me realize more and more how hindering it can be and how exhausting it actually is. Because if anybody that don't, most people don't know me personally, but I'm gonna go ahead and be more open today. So I'm a truck driver, and I've been a truck driver for, it's been several years. I don't even want to say how long, but it's been a long time. So it's like a very, like when I'm driving, especially when I have to go a far ways, like hundreds of miles a day, I have to focus on one thing, and that is the road. I gotta do my best to control that vehicle and make sure nothing crazy happens. I gotta expect the worst. I gotta look out for everything. I notice everything. Like I can predict everything other cars are going to do. And a lot of things that come with that is very stressful. And usually, okay, even when I'm like driving, like I tend to get a lot of ideas and all these, like, you know, all these ideas pop up, but it's like I can't do anything about it. Even though what I tend to do so that I don't forget these ideas is I record a voice note so I can go back and write it down later and follow up on it. But like a lot of times, even though I still get a lot of ideas, by the time I'm finished for the day, I am so exhausted and tired, and because I have to go back to work the next day and I need my sleep so I can have the energy to sit there and drive for several hours, it's like, what can I do? It's so stressful because like in the lifestyle, oh my gosh, the lifestyle of being a truck driver is not normal. It's not normal. And so by the end of the day, sometimes I don't even have the energy to like work towards my designs, work towards my website, work towards making my product, or even like doing demos and stuff like that. So lately, what I have been doing, because of now that I have a schedule, a good work-life balance now, on the days that I'm off, I have to make it my goal. I have to be intentional to work towards building my business and intentionally doing these tasks, fulfilling the ideas that came through while I was driving. I have to make sure that I'm intentionally executing them and not allowing anything to get in the way of that, because eventually the more I work towards them, the more I can depend on it being a fulfilling career. And also I want to mention, like, this is like when we use our gifts and our talents, like our true like natural talents, and when we working towards that, like God put that in us for a reason. That's how God is going to provide for us. That's how he wants us to move in this world. He put it in us specifically, so that is the way that we do his work. It's like that's the way he wants us to work in this world, and that's how he provides for us. For example, like if you think about it, like with Nicki Minaj, for example, she never really had a job. Like she said she was a server, and then somebody was being rude to her and she quit and she never worked again. But that's because she knew that her talent was to rap and she wanted to work towards that. She did it to the best of her ability. She didn't allow herself, now it's okay to do this, but what she didn't do was allow herself to stay stuck in a system that goes against what she's working towards. She instead of wasting her time at a job, people disrespected her, and it's completely different. It's completely it's far away from what her goal as a rapper is. Instead of wasting her time in a restaurant all day, she made sure she was working towards her music. And that's part of why, like, we must admit, that's part of why she's successful. Like, she worked towards it like so well that it was inevitable for us to notice her, and she's actually good at it. And that's pretty much how I like to see this, is when I am working on my cosmetics and building my business. It's like I noticed that throughout my childhood, I always been like crafty. So like I'll make something, but I was never consistent with it. Like I never knew that I was actually good at something. It was just something for fun, but I actually enjoyed it. And I noticed that it was always something that I did. And even just getting older, I figured out more and more what I'm into. Like I actually, because like I was a hairstylist, I did go to hair school right out of high school. soon as I graduated high school, I went to hair school and became a hairstylist. I was a hairstylist for several years. And even looking back, I'm looking at my potential, and it's like I could have done so much more. But anyways, like I initially wanted to start a hair care line, but I felt like it's so many people doing that and so many people. So I was like, well, body care is similar and it's a little bit different. At the end of the day, it's still a lot of people doing body care too. Eventually, I'm going to start making hair care too. By the way, I'm probably gapping, but I'm trying. Like the point I'm trying to make is that we really need to start having faith in God and what, by what He put in us, what we truly good at. Like, especially for the people that hate their job, and especially for the people that have a hard time getting a job, whether you went to school or not, whether you went to college or not. There's something that you're good at, and I'm actually talking to the people that knows their talent and actually want to work towards it. So my point is to have trust and believe that God put that in you, because that's what you're supposed to do. Don't doubt it at all. He will provide for you, especially if you want that to be like your full-time career or business, whatever it is. Work towards it. God will bless you in that way. Like that's how He made us. You think throughout the Bible He shows that as well. Like so many times He has provided for people, and especially back in the biblical days, they didn't have everything that we got now. They didn't have the warehouses and the fast food restaurants and stuff like that. And people that work, like when I worked at fast food, I hated it. Like, we don't need that food anyway. We don't need that stuff. So it's like you stressing yourself out over a job that's not even relevant. So even if you think art is not relevant, it sure is. Because so many times the people in the Bible created art, and it was very important, and still today it's very important. Think about everybody that we see on social media, and they've been able to obtain financial wealth, or even just somehow monetize what they're presenting. If you take it serious and make it your business, you will be provided for. God will provide for you in those ways. You just gotta believe and work towards it. This is for the people that don't make excuses. This is not for the people saying, oh, well, I'll wait till I retire, or I need to get this and that first. Like, I understand, like, sometimes you do need to like do something before you start, but a lot of times people just make up a bunch of excuses, and sometimes you just gotta start with what you already have. Just like the widow with the sons, when in the Bible there was the widow with the sons that her husband died, and they were trying to take her sons as like collateral or something, and then basically she wasn't having it, so she went to seek advice on what to do, because she owed a lot of debt from after her from whatever her husband had owed. So basically she was guided to sell the one thing that she had in her house, which was oil. So basically she was instructed to use that one little bit of oil, and she was blessed because she was obedient, she was blessed to be able to multiply that oil and sell it for to sell it, and she was able to gain so much more money. She was able to earn so much money that it paid off the debt, and it was also enough left over for them to live off of. So she kept her sons and paid off the debt and was blessed with money to live off of. So God could do those things for us today, and we see it all over. We see it all over the place. These artists doing everything, these people starting their businesses and making all this money and becoming very successful. We see it all over the place. So I just want to say, don't doubt yourself. What I'm working on, so lately I'm actually working on a few new formulas. I do need to, actually I got a lot planned. Actually, I need to order some supplies. I have some sample containers, some sample bottles, because I'm working on some new formulas that I'm going to use these for. This one is just a regular pump bottle, and this is a pump bottle as well. And also soon I'm going to be working on one of my signature soaps for any of my customers that may be watching that know about my smooth complexion or my turmeric soap and scrub. I'm going to be working on that soon, and I'm changing it up a little bit, and I'm very excited on how I'm tweaking this product. It's going to be very good. I'm so excited about it. And I've also been testing some new fragrances. I'm working on doing a lot of things. I'm very excited. I know I'm not showing too much right now because that's part of my plans. When I do get my new supplies and everything in and I start making the product, that's when I'm actually going to show a lot more. And today I also want to talk about my reads for today. This is what I've been reading lately. It's called The Glory in Your Story. This is Monique Rodriguez. She is the owner of Miel Cosmetics, or she is the owner of Miel Organics. And then I'm also reading I Surrender All. So far, these are really good. I love a memoir. This is a memoir. This is actually the cover. I took it off. This is the cover. And by the way, if anybody is interested in what I'm reading, like if you want to hear more about the books that I read, comment below more reads, and I would love to start discussing like the books that I read. Some of them are novels and some of them are like educational or psychological, whatever. I read different type of books.